And we're starting. Okay, so hello guys, how are you doing today? I come before you today with a very powerful message. I know it's a little different than my other videos, but it's because I'm definitely getting more in tune with my viewers. And if we're getting more in tune, then we got to get more in tune with each other's struggles and what we all deal with and what we all face on a daily basis. And we all know that the rise of the term narcissism and narcissist is everywhere. Everybody's either a narcissist or they know a narcissist. Everybody's talking about the narcissist, right? But what we want to deal with today is the power of prayer for the spirit of narcissism. And it's really, if you think about it, the entity of narcissism. There are various spirits that are associated with narcissism. So narcissism is not just one spirit, and that's where a lot of people fail. However, we'll dig and dive into that. This is not going to be a long video. However, it is going to be very detailed as far as like instructive, and just empathetic towards both parties, the narcissist and the person being affected by the narcissist. And so before we get started, I want to say I hope you guys are showing love to yourselves. I have my little heart necklace here. And so I hope you guys are showing love to yourselves. This is a very good time to show love to yourself and others, to be of service and to be a servant. And I know that, we're not getting too religious, but I'm being honest. I'm being serious. This is a very good time to give back and to not only give back to others, but to give back to yourself. So I'm also going to give you guys a moment. I don't necessarily pray for people right now. That's not my thing. Like, if we're in person, we know each other, then cool. But I have not been led or called to pray for people on my platform yet, or like extend prayer over a platform. But what I will do is we'll do a moment of silence so that whoever this video comes across and whoever may find it and watch it, they can pray for themselves, whatever they think that they need to pray for in the essence of this video. So let's do a moment of silence. Okay. And again, I did not pray during that time. I've already spoken very well over the video so that this video finds whoever it needs to. And I was just in the spirit coming in agreement with your prayer, so that you may receive this information. So, like I was saying, the focus of this video is to show love and to understand how to deal with narcissism in a less toxic way. Like, what I've noticed is that when we're talking about narcissism or narcissists, people tend to have a very either dismissive attitude towards it or very toxic response type of thing. And I understand it. Some of us have been through some very interesting experiences with people who exhibit the traits of narcissism. So sometimes it's a trigger warning, and sometimes when things trigger us, the inner parts of ourselves, we want to take on revenge. We want to think of our own way of how we're going to do something and deal with it. But this video was brought into me to speak on, and I would say that this is a more healthier way, or a healthier way. I don't want to say more healthier. A healthier way to understand and to establish not only the relationship with the narcissist, but the spirit of narcissism as well as yourself. Okay? So that was just a short intro. I hope it wasn't too long. Let's get into what we're going to be talking about. So, like I said, this video, and you'll see me looking down because I have some notes, as you can see in front of me. And I want to make sure that I say everything that I'm trying to say. So, what we're discussing today is praying for narcissists. Okay? The power of praying. And I know the P word, guys. I don't normally talk about it, but if you follow me on Instagram, I'm always talking about praying, delving into the spirit and being more in tune with yourself. I did drop an earlier video about a week and a half ago about being a homebody and what that means to me. You can take a look at that video, but what you do have to understand is when you're getting ready to attack things in a healthier way, it will require you to have a certain lifestyle for yourself. You cannot be a hypocrite, a fellow narcissist, and or believe that you are some type of like, how do I want to say, like you're putting someone in their place, you know? Like, this isn't about that. This is about actually helping that person. This whole video is about help and about establishing healthy boundaries, not only for yourself, but for that person and for the situation, okay? So, like I said, this video is about praying for narcissists. And it's not about dismissing the narcissist. It's not about just distancing yourself from the narcissist. Oh, I'm not going to deal with them anymore. And it's not about denying and or ignoring the fact that they are behaving in that way. Okay, so this is not a video to say that we're like calling it another name or... No, the spirit of narcissism is real. And we're not going to get too deep into where, you know, whatever it comes from and all of that religious texts and topics and stuff like that. We're just going to stay kind of surface level. And, you know, so that no matter who's watching this video, no matter what religion background you come from, you can relate to what I'm saying, okay? So like I said, it's not about dismissing, distancing, or denying or being ignorant to the spirit of narcissism. Once you understand and you... it's another word I'm looking for, but once you understand that that's what you're dealing with and you've come to that conclusion and you're able to label it correctly, and, you know, try not to mislabel, guys, because that's another thing. We call everything, you know, when we get a term that's hot and buzzing, then like everybody's a narcissist, everybody's a this and that. But no, like, first determine if that's truly what's going on. And secondly, if that's truly what's going on, then here are some instructions, very short, that I think are very helpful for people that are dealing with that spirit and you want to be of service. Which, if this video finds you, more than likely, that's what this is about. You have been called to be of service, and you need to take on that duty. This could be your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. It could be anyone. Now, what I will say is, I do feel like this video will be geared more towards women right now, because there's a spirit of narcissism very heavy in the male market. But that's because of other things that we are all very much aware of. And I'm not saying that women aren't narcissists, but I just feel like, I don't know, the energy of this video, I feel like I'm going to be talking to a lot of women. Because also, I believe that women, and don't cut me up, guys, but I do feel like women sometimes mishandle things in the physical that can be addressed in a spiritual sense. So, here we go. But also, shout out to the men who watch this video, and please, by all means, listen, embrace this information, and if it applies to you, please, 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 take it upon yourself to administer these tactics, or just, I would say, small instructions, because I don't want to say like tactics or anything like that, but just like small, how do I want to say, I don't want to say tactics either, or instructions, but just these little to-dos that could definitely help you in the process of dealing with someone that is battling, because that's what it is, battling with the spirit of narcissism, okay? So, the first thing is, by us not dismissing, distancing, denying, or ignoring the fact that this behavior is happening, is this might look like being supportive spiritually of someone who isn't supportive of you. And so that goes back to the whole entire focus of the video. This is a spiritual battle. So this is a video about how to aid and assist spiritually. Okay? So, like I said, first things first. This might look like actually praying for them. You know, actually meditating. Actually going out in nature and, you know, speaking with yourself and discovering what is the best way spiritually to be supportive for this person that's battling with the spirit of narcissism. Not judging them, because it's not our place. Not labeling them like we're their doctor. Not telling them what they need to do. But actually pulling ourselves back and focusing on more what we could do and help with without them even probably even knowing. You know what I mean? This is not like the first one. This first instruction is like, they don't even have to know that you are being supportive spiritually. You know what I mean? You are basically praying for them. That's just like if someone's sick or you have a friend and they've told you that they're having trouble at work, you know, and this is what a lot of people deal with. Oh, they're having trouble at work, or they're having trouble with a friend, maybe even a relationship. And you might not be able to go to the house, you know, or go to their job or come around their friends and do certain things. But you can, after you hear that person out, maybe drop them off at home, whatever, you can pray for them, or you can speak to yourself and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to support this person spiritually. So when they come around, or if they come around, you know what I mean? I'm going to spiritually equip myself so that I'm prepared to not only withstand the spirit, but be tackling the spirit. You understand? So like I said, super simple. This will look like being spiritually supportive of someone who isn't supportive of you. Because if they're dealing and battling with the spirit of narcissism, they're probably not very supportive, okay? So first off, we're cutting out our own spirit of, you know, we got to be humble, okay? We have to humble ourselves, and we have to take out the spirit of judgment and, you know, labeling people and all of that. We have to kind of bring ourselves down and out of it and kind of uplift them and bring them more into it, okay? And I know, like I said, depending on people's experiences with narcissists, you might feel some type of way at first. You might not be all on board. But this is why I said preparing yourself, meditating, and letting yourself know that they're battling with this too. It's not just you are a victim. They're battling with this. Not every person wants to be a certain way. Some people, yes, you might think, no, that's how they want to be. No, like sometimes when you're so deep into something, it appears like you want to be, you don't. You trust me, like everyone I know that has lived a life that they were battling with anything. It could have been anything. They've always been so thankful for, you know, normally if someone's battling even drug addiction, let's just say something like drug addiction, that person normally does not want you praying for them all the time, or they might not just jump into prayer worship with you, or they might not even want to hear you, you know, sending them articles on, you know, these are the things that if you do this with yourself, if you eat more fruits and drink more juice, they might not be susceptible to that information. So you want to give them the benefit of the doubt of knowing that they do want the help. So you want to tell yourself they do want the help, and this is what I can do. Spiritually hands-on, but also hands-off of aiding and assisting them in that battle. You know what I mean? That's why I said this first instruction, you don't even have to tell people. You just are like, yeah, let me just pray for this person. Let me first be spiritually supportive, okay? Second, determining the exact spirits associated with narcissist behavior, okay? And examining the relationship that you have with that person. So first, let's back it up. Determining the exact spirits associated with narcissist behavior is your homework, okay? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to run down a list of what spirits are associated. You need to yourself identify that, because, like I said, the first instruction is just saying okay. It's giving your yes. It's not, you're really not doing anything. You've just decided that you're like, okay, I'm going to help. But I might not be like all in their face and telling them what they need to do. So to aid in that first instruction, the second instruction of helping you deal with that spiritually is first identifying what spirits are associated with narcissism. Okay? So you guys do your own homework on that. That's your homework. That's what this video is about, getting proactive, okay? So determining the exact spirits, determining the spirits that you see for sure in that person dealing with narcissism. So narcissism has nothing to do with drug addiction. Drug addiction would probably be it's like when you say something is a cause and effect, but like an effect would probably be like the drug addiction. So we're not saying, oh, drug addiction is associated with narcissism. No. For example, the spirit of pride. You understand? So that's an example, and you can go from there. Also, the second part of that second instruction, examining the relationship with yourself and God. So this goes back to, and when I say God, like I said, this video is for anyone, whatever religious background you are in. I myself, personally, I do not get into this religion is better than that one because I feel like it all goes back to a source. So, okay. Examining the relationship that you have with yourself and your creator is very important so that you can understand what spirits and how to battle those spirits. You understand? And so the third instruction would be basically determining whether you've been instructed to stay around this person or whether you've been instructed to give this person space. Okay? And so each of this, this third instruction comes with two parts. So these are the two parts. If you've been instructed to leave, okay, that doesn't mean you leave, because we're going back to, this is not about distancing yourself and only doing that. Yes, you're distancing yourself, but you've also already started the first instruction. You've already decided that you're going to be spiritually supportive. So, like I said, that does not mean you have to be hands-on. You're hands-on, but you're hands-off at the same time, okay? If you've been instructed to leave, and this could be for any reason. This could be if you're personally convicted to leave, whatever. But if you feel like it's time to leave that situation because it could be unsafe, whatever, then these are your instructions, okay? Distancing yourself, however, praying and identifying the spirits that are attached to the entity of narcissism, the spirit of narcissism, as I will keep saying, because it entails, it's like a tree, it entails other branches, but just to keep it simple. You're distancing yourself, but as you're distancing yourself and you're staying away, you are praying, you are meditating, and you are attacking those spirits that are associated with that. So that's praying and identifying in your prayers or your meditation, okay, what they're battling with. It's bigger than the narcissism. It's smaller, you can almost say, because it's small things that make up this big umbrella of narcissism, and you want to attack those small things. And when I say attack those small things, I just mean when you're meditating and you're discussing to yourself how you are going to rid this person of this energy, then set up some words, to yourself. That's why I said I don't want to make this too much about religion, but I do want to make it about spirituality. Everything happens in the spirit. So this is not, we all have spirits, we all have souls. So, but when you're doing this, you're identifying those spirits and you're discussing those spirits. And I mean that by, we're not condemning the person. This is not a prayer saying, oh, I wish so-and-so would get their stuff together. Oh, I wish so-and-so would stop talking to me like that. Those are the effects. Like I said, you want to tackle the spirit itself. So if they're talking to you like that, what is that? Disrespect, right? So you want to tackle that and see what is associated with the spirit of disrespect. What's associated with the spirit of emotional abuse. Okay? And so on and so forth. And as you're identifying these spirits, you're detaching not only from that person, but, and I know this part's going to be a little but you're also detaching the person and the situations and the situation, because I'm sure if you're dealing with it, there's been multiple situations with this person or with these group of people, and so you might have little pins, pricking at you about different things that have happened, and you're like, oh, but this happened and that happened, but you're detaching from that, and you're detaching from the whole situation as you're dealing with the narcissist, and you're detaching it specifically from your heart chakra, okay? Your heart, even if you don't read the word, but in the word it says the heart is the wellspring, okay, of life, okay? I personally believe that the heart is very much tied to the mouth. In the mouth, we all know what? Words, the power of the tongue, right? Life and death, correct? So detaching something from your heart chakra is a big deal. Sometimes we talk about our other chakras, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the crown chakra. All of these chakras are important, right? And that's not even religion. That's just body, right? That's biology. Chakras are important. Those are real things that are inside your body that must be cleansed, just like everything else. Just like when you do a detox, just like when you brush your teeth, just like when you take a bath, okay? So this is you cleansing your heart chakra by detaching them from your heart. And as you're distancing yourself, you are detaching that person from your heart. No, this doesn't mean that you don't care. No, this doesn't mean that you're mistreating them. No, this doesn't mean that like you hate them and now you're going to not love them. No, we're still loving them in the spirit, okay? However, it's more about detaching the negative emotion, the negative spirit itself, because they're not just battling with it. Now you're battling with the effects of it. And you've got to detach those effects from your heart so that you may be better at assisting them in detaching them from the spirit itself, okay? And so specifically, detaching them in the situation from your heart chakra, cleansing your heart chakra of the situation. This is, we haven't even gotten to the second part. This is if you are instructed to leave, if you're instructed to distance yourself. You're still spiritually supporting them. However, while you're doing this, you have to detach and cleanse your heart chakra. You have to bring love into your own heart. Because what this will do is this will also bring compassion into your heart. And you will look at them differently. And you won't look at them as such like an a-hole or, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little notification, but you won't look at them like they're an a-hole or like, oh, I can't believe they did that. You'll more look at them like a patient in a hospital. They're sick and they need medicine. And in order for me, the doctor or the nurse, whoever you want to be, to assist them, I myself, like doctors and nurses, they have to sterilize their hands. They have to cleanse, every tool that they use has to be sterilized. That's what you're doing. You're sterilizing. You're sterilizing the tool. You are the tool. You're sterilizing the tool. You have to detach them from your heart in a negative, with the negative energy. Like I said, you still want to show love. You still love them, but you are detaching those negative emotions, the negative events that happened to you, the way that they made you feel. That's going to build up in your heart. Yes, it will affect your other chakras. That's why sometimes I feel like, but I get into that. You want to detach them from your heart chakra. Okay? Big hearts in the chat. Big hearts in the chat. If you know, you know. Big hearts in the comment section. We're showing love, guys. We're showing love. We're leading in love. Okay? And that's why this video is so important to me. Because a lot of people, they have instructions on how to deal with narcissists, and it comes from a very scientific and slightly toxic way. And it's like, oh, if this person's doing this, just leave them alone. Don't talk to them. Don't let them around you. But it's like, but also, maybe they're around you for a reason. Maybe you were low-key supposed to experience that so that you could spiritually be supportive. Yes, that doesn't mean you have to stay around if you've been instructed to distance yourself. But that does mean that if you've decided to be spiritually supportive, how can you truly be supportive of someone if you don't care? If you have... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say hatred in your heart, but you just have a bad taste in your mouth. You have, because I'm doing this video one take. I'm not doing it with multiple takes, so what you see is what you're going to get with this video. I'm not editing it because I want it to be natural. I want you guys to understand what I'm saying. But you shouldn't have any, it's a word I'm looking for, but don't have any ill feelings in there. Okay? Don't feel like you've got to now you've got to become like a low-key narcissist, or you don't feel like you have to turn into someone else, or that you have to ignore your feelings, or you have to say, oh, that never happened. But it's more like forgiving them. This goes back to forgiving, and as you're forgiving, you're detaching that from your heart chakra and from your heart. Okay? You do not want to keep those things inside of your heart, because then how supportive are you really truly being, right? Animosity. I think that's the word I'm kind of looking for. You can't hold animosity in your heart and believe that you're spiritually assisting someone. That's kind of backwards. So that's why I would say one of the biggest instructions for that part is detaching from your heart what has happened to you and how you feel about it in a negative sense. Now, keep the positive love, but detach from that negative feeling and the way it affected you negatively. And however you can do that, do that. Some of us might have to go to therapy. Some of us can self-heal. Some of us might have to show ourselves self-love. It comes in various forms, but detaching that from your heart is very important in the distancing yourself, okay? Because you don't want to just distance yourself and it's still in there, and then let's say they get all good and now you're all bitter. You don't want that. Okay, so the second part, if you've been instructed to stay around this person, like if you feel convicted to stay around them, you don't feel convicted to leave. You don't feel convicted to just distance yourself or deny them of your presence. We're repeating step 1, obviously, so we're still identifying the spirits that are associated with narcissism. However, now we're stepping it up a notch, okay? We're doing powerful cast outs. That means if you're in this person's presence and they're comfortable with you really spiritually supporting them, and they're really like, I do want to change. I do want to get myself on a better track. I am trying to see if I can think different. Then, we're doing powerful casting out, because that's what it takes sometimes, okay? So once you identify, now we're doing powerful casting out. And if you know, you know. I don't got to explain that. And if you don't know, go find out. And the second part to that, of this second part of the instruction, is getting other prayer warriors involved. Getting other people that are on board with the same thing that you're trying to do. This could look like a prayer warrior. This could look like anything. But you want them to be on board with what you're doing. This could just be their mom who's deciding, okay, when they come in on Sundays, I'm going to convince them that we just have a chill day that day. And we don't do anything. We don't go outside. We're going to have family time. We're going to make their favorite dinner. That's how that can look. That's why I say, guys, keep your mind open to how this strategic, this is kind of strategic in a way, but how this is going to kind of come off. You don't want to be like you're their pastor, or you know what I mean? You're just their friend or their loved one that really, really cares about them and doesn't want them to be afflicted. That's honestly what this is about. So for your own sanity and for your help, you're going to need help. No one can do anything alone. You want to include as many people as you feel comfortable with that are actually serious about those things. Like I said, these are simple instructions. So they have to be willing to support them spiritually. They have to be willing to help you identify the spirits associated. They have to be willing to detach themselves, from the negative emotions, from their heart. They have to be willing to do those things. This is what I mean. So if they're not willing to do that, then they can't help you. I mean, that's just what it is. And so, yes, you do want to be very selective about who you choose to help you in this and to help guide you. Because even though this is a really nice addition to the instruction, it's also the most delicate. You want to make sure that you're not just inviting anyone into this, and you're not just telling anyone about it. And that's actually something I wrote down. when you're getting other people involved, you're actually not telling anyone about this. You're not, the people that are involved are the only ones involved, and that's it. That's all who knows about it. You're not like telling your girlfriends, yeah, girl, I'm doing this. Or, you know, if you're a guy, you're not telling your guys, like, yeah, man, she's a total B and I need to do this. No, because that's not being spiritually supportive. And that's not detaching the negative emotions from your heart. Okay? Okay. So, while you're getting these other people involved that are aiding and assisting you spiritually, this is for the people that I know. If you know, you know. You want to get neck to mouth with the Father. Okay? Neck to mouth. What does that mean? Your neck to his mouth. Because first one, okay, if you know, you know. Secondly, this is not about what you got to say. This is not what you feel should be said. And this is not what you feel should be done. You want to make sure that you have a very good... This is why I went back to, in the second instruction when I said, you're examining your relationship with yourself and with God, your creator, whoever you identify with. Like I said, this is open. But you want to have a very positive relationship with your creator, with what you believe in. Because this isn't for the weak. And this is not what you want to do. This has to be what's best for everyone, especially the person battling with this spirit of narcissism. Okay, guys? So this is very important. That's a very important part. Like, that's a very important small part that I wanted to talk about, because a lot of this just sounds like you examine, you identify. Yes, you are doing this, but in the bigger sense, you're pulling from a source, and that source is giving you positive feedback on how to appropriately examine those spirits, you know, identify those spirits and powerfully cast them out, and even to identify who's going to be your helpers, who's going to be the people to aid and assist you in helping this person deal with what's going on. Okay. Another situation is that you're doing this daily. Okay, this is not going to be like something you do when you can. This is not going to be like, oh, once a month. When you decide that this is someone you care about and you're really serious about it, this video is for those people that are ready right now to get down in the dirt, to get down in the mud, and truly engage with this. And so it's going to be daily. And it doesn't have to be a full-blown daily, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, it's every day, but the little things count. Like I said, Sunday could just be we're doing a dinner, a favorite dinner, in quiet time. You know, that's, trust me, you'd be amazed at how you can battle certain things with very simple tactics and very simple deeds. That's why I started at the beginning and show love to yourself and show love to others. Because that's also putting that energy out there of help and assistance and aiding. And as you're doing this engagement daily, you're reviving the instructions, the previous instructions. You are reviving them, not revising them. You're reviving them. That means you know how you revive something. You're in the ambulance. Revive. That means you're jolting it every day. You're jolting these instructions. You're excited about it. It's not something that you're like, oh, okay, today I gotta be like, no, you gotta get excited. You gotta get involved, and you gotta get in the thick of it. Like, that's just what it is. I call people prayer warriors because that's what it is. It's a war. And you know, if you know, you know with that term. But that's what I mean by whoever your assistants are, your helpers. You know, some people call them your destiny helpers or your divine helpers, whatever. That's why you have to revive these instructions every day. You've got to get everybody on board and excited. And so, you know, that's what this is all about. It's all about just simply knowing that you want to be spiritually supportive. Once you know that, identifying and examining your relationship with your creator so that you have the right mindset and the right attitude. And once you do that, the only thing that we're doing is we're identifying those spirits, we're casting them out, we're attacking those spirits. And when I say we're attacking, like, we're irritating the F okay, out of these spirits, okay? And so for an example, I'm going to give you just a quick example. That could look like denying the narcissist their request, because you're in their presence. And we all know what I mean by their request. And or doing things that make them comfortable in their narcissistic ways. Okay? You're denying them of that. And so you already know how to do that. Okay? Most of that comes from not engaging verbally and being spiritually supportive. And I know, like, it's easier said than done. Of course, you always want to establish your respect. You never want to let anybody cross the line with you. But you also do not want to stoop down to anything, and you don't want to... Your job is to do your job. That's like when you're at work and a customer comes in there, or you have a client and they're not feeling so well, or their attitude isn't doing so well. You still can't jump out your body. You know, you can't jump out of your role and think that, you know, you can't. You have to stay in your role and still do your job. So look at this like that's what you're doing once you sign on for this, okay? This is your job. And so you've got to treat it like that. It's very important. And it's important that you, as you're denying them their requests and denying them of the things that they're comfortable doing in that narcissistic state, that you also understand that, of course, there might be pushback. So you have to be prepared to, like I said, not engage verbally, because we are what? Supporting spiritually. Okay? This isn't... Physical is only going to be like establishing respect and trying to figure out little things that you can do for that person so that that's, you know, the spirits that are attached with it can be defeated. But it does not look like fighting people. It does not look like tying them up. It doesn't look like any of that. You know, I've heard so many things, guys. So that's why I'm saying, like, this video is to learn how to do something in a more positive, and how I would think it's not only just positive, but I just think it's more effective, just a more effective way of dealing with it, because it's not something that's physical. So let's just keep it real. And if it's safe, like I said, going back to what was I saying about the engaging daily and reviving those instructions? Once you're in the thick of it and we've got the team, we know what we're doing, we've identified the spirits, we are irritating those spirits. And how are you doing that? By denying them of their request and or the things that they do that make them comfortable in their narcissism. It does not look like you verbally attacking anyone or getting into it with them, but it does look like establishing boundaries and spiritually being supportive. Like I said, when you are irritating those spirits, you are driving them out with passive aggressive behavior. I know sometimes you're like, passive aggressive behavior is so... No, it is. Trust me, there's a reason for it. It's just you don't use it in every situation. Passive aggressive behavior is very important, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. It actually should be used in situations where you don't want to get too aggressive. You don't want to rock the boat like that, but you do want to establish boundaries, and you do want to show that you are understanding and you are being supportive. So that's where this passive aggressive behavior is going to come into play when we are, you know, denying their request and or the things that they like to do in that narcissistic state. And reminder, okay, this is when it's safe. That's why I got safe ? So ask yourself, is it safe? If it is, then yeah, we're denying them. And if it's not safe, we're going back to square one. We are just supporting spiritually. We're not letting them know what we're doing. We are just praying. We are just meditating, and we are teaming up with our spiritual helpers, our divine helpers, and we are attacking the spirit from afar. We are hands-on, but hands-off at the same time. So it goes right back to if you've been led to detach. If it's not safe, don't be in someone's face. Don't start telling them what they can't have and won't do if you feel like you're going to be in some type of an altercation or an unsafe situation. Because I don't want to get into how unsafe or what, just if it's not safe. Okay, guys? And you know if it's safe or not. Most importantly, ending this is about yourself, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting a lot of solitary time in, a lot of you time in, showing yourself a lot of love. Remember, your heart has been hurt. You know, when you're dealing with narcissistic behavior, your heart has been attacked. Your heart has been hurt. Your heart has been hurt. So, you know, depending on what has happened, yes, you might be feeling, you know, you might not have a place to stay. So you might feel to where I'm looking for, but let's just say you're in balance in other areas of your life. Yeah, those are very much well important. So yes, in your solitary time, pray and attack those areas of yourself. But we're focusing mostly on the heart, guys. And if you've noticed, that's what we're focusing on. We're focusing mostly on the heart. So in that solitary prayer time, you are praying for yourself and praying for your heart and praying for their heart. Okay, stop thinking like narcissistic behavior is a mental issue or it's a behavioral issue. It's a spiritual issue, if you ask me. And it should be helped spiritually too. Not just because I know people take, you know, they're saying that there's medicine for it. They're saying that you can go to therapy. There's a lot of physical things you can do. But this is when you're attacking something in the spiritual. Okay, or you're approaching something in the spiritual. Because I don't want to use the word attack. When you're approaching something in the spiritual, the solitary prayer is going to be very important. And this is for you. Okay, this is not for anyone else. This is actually before you're engaging in prayer for anyone else. You want to make sure you're good first, right? So that solitary prayer is very important. And to re-emphasize what I was saying earlier, you're telling no one about this. You're not telling everybody that you are doing this. And if you know why. Okay? Very hush-hush. Even this video. Don't get to sharing it with just anybody. I've already said I hope this video finds whoever it's supposed to find, but don't just get to sharing because, unless it's you're led to share this video with someone. Okay, then share. But other than that, this is a very covert operation. And so that's concluding that. I know that a lot of people might, well, I don't know, but I know that there are those who might disagree with this this strategy, right? Because it might be new. They might have never heard it before. You might have never heard it before. And you're like, I don't know. But I'm telling you, if you give it a chance, I believe it could do some good. I believe it can help you and the person that's dealing and battling with the spirit of narcissism, the energy of being narcissistic. Let's not say spirit. The energy of even being narcissistic, because I want this video to reach as many people as possible. I don't want anybody feeling left out. I don't want anybody feeling like they have to be a certain religion in order to attack this. You do not. You just have to be willing to help someone. You know, every religion has prayer. So that's my point. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like you have to be a priest. You have to be, you have to be Baptist. You have to be Catholic. No, you just have to be willing, honestly. So this is a very important project for you and that person or people, and treat it as such. Treat it like a very delicate baby, and you can't just let anybody hold it. Okay? So big hearts in the chat, big hearts in the chat, big hearts in the chat. If you know, you know. Put the hearts in the comments. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about it. If you have any questions, I'll answer as well as I can. According to what you're asking, without doing too much or getting too deep. But your homework, like I told you, identify, find out, okay, what's associated with that. Get in the thick of it. Get in the thick of your heart. Get in the thick of your mind, and align those things, and be supportive. Be spiritually supportive, guys, today. This video is more of a positive outlook. It's a hopeful outlook. It's a video coming from hope. That it's just a little sickness, just a little flu, and they just need a little Robitussin, and they just need a little NyQuil, okay? And you're that NyQuil for them, okay, guys? So, like I said, big hearts in the chat. Let me see, hold on. Let me see something real quick. But yeah, big hearts in the chat. If you know, you know. Like, If this video makes you subscribe, cool, fine. I'm not looking for clout off this. This is truly just something that means something to me. I myself have also, you know, dealt with that, and it is what it is. Maybe even sometimes we ourselves, without knowing it, have bits and pieces of it. Like I said, one of the spirits associated with it is pride. I'm sure all of us have been a victim of pride. So this video is more of an outlook to be hopeful and to know that even though it might seem big, because the narcissist behavior and energy can sometimes be very volatile and aggressive, and people can feel hopeless and just want to distance themselves and give up. This video is about not giving up and just giving you hope to make it through, and to know that you actually can be proactive in the situation without even engaging, without even saying a word, you know, technically, without saying a word, without saying a negative word, you know, but really finding out who you want to be for this person would be a very helpful understanding. Like, do you want to be the help for that person? Do you want to do this? That's why I say first you just have to be willing. Once you're willing, the instructions are very simple. Okay, guys? So go back. Maybe someone can, if they, you know, are feeling it, they'll put the instructions in the comments for someone, or they might put timestamps. But I want you guys to just be made aware that it's possible. Be strong. Be hopeful. Be prayerful. And again, big hearts in the chat. Show love to yourself and others, guys. I adore you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And take care, okay? All right, guys.